Hello everyone. I hope you all are fit and healthy. You all are taking all precautions from the virus also. And everything is going to start back very early. I hope colleges and all have already on the verge of starting. So back to work, back to college, back to the normal life. And I think it's a good thing because the virus is going and we have also got the vaccines out. So not to the normal people, but yeah, the vaccines have been released, such as the news is saying in many countries. So let's hope for the best. And the topic we are doing today for the second year BA students, we will be discussing the parts of from where the sound is produced. I am referring to this book, and on page number 3, the human vocal cord diagram is given here. Yes, and I will be discussing the first organ required for your speech production, that is your lungs, from where the whole air actually comes and you talk. When the air comes out, you can understand whenever you're talking, you can put your hand and see that the air is coming out from your mouth. From where is that air coming? Of course, from the lungs, because, and that is why your voice is actually produced from your lungs. The movement of air through the trachea or windpipe which is connected to the lungs is used in the production of sound, speech sounds. So from your lungs, your air goes to the trachea, from the oral cavity, it comes to your mouth, and then you speak. Okay. For the production of sounds of most languages of the world, the air is driven out of the lungs through the trachea. From the trachea, the air reaches the upper region of the vocal cord. From the trachea, it comes to the upper region of the vocal cord and gets modified in various ways. I just said how we put in the previous video. So the ones who have not watched the previous video, please go and watch, wherein I've discussed how there are filters and all put to your voice, such as I just told you, like we put filters to the best photo that we have, and then we put it on social media, right? So over here in the vocal track, it gets filtered, and the voice is the best voice that is selected from the vocal track. It's sent to the mouth, and then according to the sound which is produced, the mouth leaves it with the expressions of the face. So we discussed the facial expressions, also the functions of the vocal track, of filtering and all, in my previous video. At times the production Sorry. For example, the sounds of English language are produced through aggressive pulmonic mechanism of air. So when you're speaking the English language, lot of air actually is left out compared to the other languages such as English and Urdu, Hindi and Urdu. If you see, मैं नहीं कर रही थी. So if I say it like that, Hindi, there's not lot of air that is extracted from the body. But when we speak English, too much of air actually comes out. So it is produced from the lungs. At times, the production of certain sound is by drawing the air into the lungs. This is known as ingressive because it's taking in the lungs. Like that we talk. Ingressive pulmonic airstream. Okay. The next part, the first organ we saw was lungs. The next one is larynx. Larynx is commonly called the voice box, just as you must be having the voice box of your TV, of your laptop, the audio from where it is coming, right? So inside our body also there's a voice box that leaves out the sound, and that is known as larynx. It is an organ in the neck region which is involved in breathing as well. Larynx is also involved in breathing, but the most important um, function of larynx is to produce sound. Production of sound and protecting the trachea as well. So three functions are giving for breathing, for the production of sound, and therefore to protect the trachea as well. Larynx contain a pair of muscular flap. So if you see the photo of larynx, it has two muscular flap like that, and in the middle there is larynx. It's like a protection, you can see. called the vocal cord or the vocal folds. So it's just like this. So it's known as fold, but the main name is vocal cord. So this is the cord, and there is larynx in the middle. In the larynx, there's a small trachea from where the air moves. So I hope you understood the whole part from here to here. So you can see there are vocal cords over here, like that, known as the vocal folds as well. The airstream passes between the vocal cords during sound production. These folds are either drawn together or left out while we talk or we speak loudly. If the vocal cords are drawn together very closely, but not tightly, but close, so it's not going to be tight, but it's called close like that, the air passing between them will cause regulation in vibration. So whenever we speak, there is vibration in our throat. How it happens? Because it contracts like that, and whatever air is gone in the middle, it is going to vibrate in here. That is how the sound is produced. If the vocal cords, okay, the sound thus produced are called voiced sound. Whenever there's more vibration on our throat, that's called voiced sound. The vibration can be felt by placing the first two fingers on the Adam's apple. Of course, if the girls do not have that Adam's apple, you can just place it in the middle over here, in the middle of your neck, and you all can actually feel the vibration on your neck when you are talking. Don't press it too much, you all will choke and die. So, just a minute. So, you all can place and you all can feel your voice and do not choke yourself. Okay. Or you can even hold a thumb or your first finger like that in the middle. Don't press it too much and place it over here. And while putting your fingers here, you can actually do that sound zzz, and you can feel the vibration. So you all can do this at home and see. Uh, place it like that or place it like that and do that zzz, just like a bee coming in the ear and doing it. That is so irritating, right? So you all can do that sound and understand the vibration in our throat. This phenomena of voice production is called voicing. So y'all can have these question answers. What are vocal cords? What are they also known as? That is vocal folds. What do you mean by voiced sounds? The vibration sounds. How are the voiced sounds produced? Or you can get what explain the phenomena of voicing. So this vibration you have to explain. So I hope you are understood this part. When the vocal cords are well apart, now we spoke about when they were together. Now we'll talk about when they are very nicely apart. The air passing through them does not cause any vibration, right? It has a normal passage to go. So it does not vibrate. The sounds thus produced are called voiceless sounds. So what are voiced sounds when there is vibration? What are voiceless sounds when there is no vibration and it's open? The vocal cords are open. This can be verified by placing the two fingers on the Adam's apple and holding the thumb of the finger against it and making the sound S. S. That sound was Z, 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 right? This sound is S. So when you say the sound of S, like S, there is no vibration, right? When we are saying S, the vocal cords are nicely open, and therefore the air passing over here S, and you can see the air is coming out properly. So this has no vibration, and therefore that this vibration, I mean this part or this type of words are known as voiceless sounds. So you all understood the difference between voiced sounds, voiceless sounds, and how are they also occurred, right? Now we can also verify the voicing while producing the words bat, pat, bat, pat. There are not so much of voice, right? We can also, okay, during the production of voice sounds, the vocal cords undergo regular vibration between 80 to 400 cycles per seconds. That is so much. Okay, now it is commonly this time, the time that passes between the release of the sound and the beginning of the voice, called as the voice onset time. It is commonly abbreviated as VOT. That is the voice onset time, VOT. The third part is the nasal cavity, and the oral cavity. So altogether the parts that we are going to see is lungs, larynx, nasal cavity, oral cavity. Lungs, larynx, nasal cavity, oral cavity. We saw the lungs, we saw the larynx. Now we will see the nasal cavity. Nasal cavity refers to the nose. Now, unknowingly, we think the voice only comes from the throat or the mouth, right? We don't realize it comes from the lungs and also from the nose. Um, Now, the organ at the back of the mouth, if you see, I cannot point it, but it's behind of your mouth, is known as the soft palate. Soft. If you put your finger right behind, you can feel the soft palate. The velum may be raised and lowering according to the sound to be produced. When the soft palate is raised, it creates a blockage towards the nasal cavity. So whenever behind of the mouth is blocked, you get a blockage in the nasal cavity, this cavity here, and stops the air from entering the nasal cavity. So there is no air over here. Thus, the sounds are produced by the airstream entering the oral cavity. So whenever there's a blockage in your nasal cavity, your voice directly comes from your oral cavity. Okay? And therefore, these sounds that come from your oral cavity are known as oral sounds whenever this is blocked. If this is not blocked, therefore your sounds come from your nasal cavity known as the nasal sounds. Okay. Now let's see the oral cavity. The oral cavity refers to the region of the mouth. This is nasal cavity, this is oral cavity. The airstream reaches the oral cavity from the larynx. So from the larynx, it is directly gone to the oral cavity. Therefore, these are known as oral sounds. Otherwise, they go from the nasal cavity from here and then it comes out. So it's known as nasal sounds. It may also pass through the nasal cavity at the same time if the nasal sound is not blocked. From the oral cavity, the air escapes outside of your mouth and the speech produced is wide and open, right? The main organ in the oral cavity which is used in the production of sound are the lips and the tongue. So in your oral cavity, the lips and the tongue are the two main organs that are used in the oral cavity. The tongue moves to different points of the mouth while producing oral sounds, such as even it comes to the teeth when we talk like that, like when I'm saying like, my tongue is actually touching my teeth, right? Sometimes it goes the alveolar ridge, that is the upper ridge, the bridge of the mouth is known as alveolar ridge. The hard plate, the harder part, then the soft plate that is behind. All these places the tongue moves and produces sounds. I hope you understood all the four parts from where the sound is produced. So a question can be asked to you all that name all and explain all the organs from which the sounds are produced. So you all can name and explain the process of production of sounds. And in the next video, we will be moving to articulation, places of articulation, manners of articulation. I was going to do it in this video, but because the parts of sound production it was really vast, so in the next video we will be doing articulation. I hope you all understood this video. Give it a thumbs up. That means a like if you understood it. And also watch my previous videos for more knowledge, and also the introduction part is done in the previous videos. Take care of yourself and a good bye bye.